Hello and welcome to the world of Rallycross, one of the few circuit racing disciplines that keeps the mindset on the finish line. No rain, no wheel loss will stop you. It's you, the car, circuit and opponent, nothing more, nothing less. As you might know, you will find some really powerful cars, at least when compared to rally. You can go all the way up to 600 horsepower all-wheel drive. The goal is simple: take one Joker lap, which is additional part of the circuit, and you only take it once and cross the finish line. First, ideally, without a lot of martial arts. Here are 5 reasons why you should immediately get into Sim Rallycross. Number 1. Various surfaces and track designs. In Rallycross, tarmac is not alone at the hard work of sending cars to ditches. You will have to adapt to surface. Most tracks are mixed combinations of gravel and tarmac, but that is not all. Some circuits introduce air into the mix, and you might find yourself airborne sometimes. The one who can tackle all these elements, including rain, that's right boys, in this motorsport no one stops. When fall the raindrops, wins. Number 2. Opponents. Obviously, having 6 cars on a grid and one optimal line does introduce completely new art to the racing. That is, as I like to call, martial arts, which is a legal way of committing war crimes on your friends, also temporarily known as enemies of the state. In Rallycross, you should focus on crossing the finish line, but sometimes you have to cross a different line, just like Germany crossed the line between Poland. You will have to cross the line of fair play to deliver a final blow to your friends and promote complete obliteration by force. In the other words, you can make a slight contact with other cars, which does tend to happen, especially on slippy surfaces. The cars can take a hit or two because they are not made out of sugar or Formula cars, but be careful, causing too much damage will give you a penalty at best and duty to pay war reparations at worst. But do not be afraid to bring a Tempest into the brawl for the first place. Playing Rallycross with friends is truly the best way to experience it, and in case of Dirt Rally 2.0, you can easily host a server and enjoy demolition in a couple minutes. No port forwarding needed. Let's be honest, Dirt Rally 2.0 is best Rallycross game. It's not like competition is exactly there, with only few other games like Sebastien Loeb Rally Evo or Project Cars, but this exact one does tend to have a wonky physics. And for the Sebastien Loeb Rally Evo, well, you can watch my video about it. Allow me to play you a clip of this video for propaganda purposes.
3, 2, 1, go!
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it. Hello there.
And crushing them instantly.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
3, 2, 1, go!
Just give it about that.
3, 2, 1, go!
Next game could be Dirt 4, but it's best to stick to Dirt Rally 2.0 since it has the best Rallycross in my opinion. Maybe in the future I will make a video that will elaborate on other Rallycross games. Number 3. Strategy building on the fly. In Rallycross you need to decide when to take the Joker lap. This is where strategizing is needed. And you need to make sure that you will have the least amount of dust in front of you, meaning that if you are last, it's probably best to take the Joker lap to get some fresh air, and vice versa. But if you are in the middle of the pack, then it's a much tougher decision. There's not any strategizing to be done before the start of the race, since it is all determined after the start. Your spotter can do help to guide you about when to take the Joker lap. Number 4. Multiple races in one event. Rallycross event is not one big race, but a series of races which are lengthening as you progress towards the finals. This binds to the strategizing where it's not worth pushing for the first place in qualifiers, so if you're running second, it's best to cooperate with the first place rather than compete. Meanwhile, in the finals, that is the time to go all out, flat out. Number 5. Shorter but more aggressive compared to GT or Formula Racing. Rallycross race is rather short but very aggressive act of war. In the other words, if you want to have a quick race, a single Rallycross event will take a shorter period than races from other branches of the motorsport. In this regard, it is much closer to rallying, from which in the end is a bit of a derivative. Especially since after Group B ended, a lot of those cars would pay a visit to Rallycross, and those cars are available in Dirt Rally 2.0 for you to die in. Summary. Rallycross is not all that popular, but if you perhaps like big sense, power sliding and war crimes, this might be a fun experience. In general, if you find some people to play it with, it will take the game to a next level, especially if you disrespect every single rule of fair play and Geneva Convention. And the Rallycross comes bundled with Rally in Dirt Rally 2.0, so if you want to get started sim rallying, go and watch previous video I made about 5 reasons why to get started with sim rallying. Let me end this video by exploiting a toilet. That's very reasonable.